Magic Masses. Yes, that is my name for the fans of Pro Wrestling Magic. I am longtime independent wrestling fan Robert. Crazy Little Thing Called Love was quite the show that we all expected, and maybe even more. Well, the night began with a three-way triple threat tag team match as we saw overtime TJ Crawford and Joe Scott, I apologize if I got his name wrong, as they defeated Colossal Mike Law and MV Young and JJ Adams, and I forgot his partner's individual name, and I apologize if I'm wrong by saying that they were collectively known as the Fortnite Horsemen. And by virtue of Scott and Crawford's victory, they are now the last two men added to the six-way match to crown the first ever junior heavyweight champion at the anniversary show in April, as they join Dan Gallagher, Sebastian Cage, Killian McMurphy, and Sonny Kiss in the six-way match to crown the first ever junior heavyweight champion in the month of April. Next up, El Presidente Sanchez's music starts playing, but someone comes out in a fur coat and a mask on. He takes the mask off. It was none other than Stephen J. Higgins, and he announces to the crowd, "Hey, he's not here. I suspended him." Now, at the risk of sounding rude, this may not make much sense, and this may sound like an odd question. Knowing that Higgins suspended Sanchez last month, why would Pro Wrestling Magic announce that Sanchez was going to be in action? While everybody tries to figure that one out, Higgins made an offer to the big deal Craig Steele saying, you can face Matt McIntosh, the Bad Apple, for the number one contendership to see who'd be number one contender to the heavyweight title next month, but on the condition that Steele backs out of the six-man match with American Murder Society later in the show and never teams with AMS ever. Steele took the deal, no pun intended, and the match was on, and the Bad Apple Matt McIntosh defeated Big Deal Craig Steele to become number one contender to the heavyweight championship. Out next comes the Clockwork Angel Catrid, and she comes through the curtain, and I notice, she seemed a bit disappointed. She comes to the ring with the Women's Championship belt on her shoulder, and she announces to the crowd that she has to undergo some kind of surgery, and is not certain if she'll be back in action or how long she'll be out of action. And out comes the Answer to Your Prayers, Ariel and Nix, who kind of pretty much put her down, insulted her. And Catrid relinquished the Women's Championship. And at that point, Nix's scheduled opponent, Chris Statlander, the Alien, comes out. And just as the match was ready to get underway, out comes Joey Ryan, the King of Dong Style, and announces that he'll be the referee for this matchup. And the match was on, and I think Statlander accidentally hit Ryan in the corner. And eventually, Ariel and Nix defeated Chris Statlander to win the vacant Women's Championship. After the match had ended, both ladies had left the ring. Ryan takes the microphone, and he announces to the crowd that he's going to be back on June 15th, only to be interrupted by Nix, who comes back out, and she says, "Hey, this is my moment, get out of the ring." And she goes so far to say that she's not scared of his dick. So at that point, I forgot what was said by both of them, but Nix tried to kick him in the groin, but then eventually it supposedly hurt her foot, and then Ryan took hold of Nix's hand and to touch his package, and Nix was YouPorn plexed. But then out comes the recently rechristened Buzz Killer, Pat Buck. He hits the ring, attacking Ryan, trying to get some payback for what happened the previous week at another promotion show in Jersey. Buck goes underneath the ring and pulls out a buzzsaw, which he tried to chop off Ryan's package. But then Buck, he takes out a Star Wars lightsaber, and he tries to use that on Ryan. It's weakening, but all of a sudden, Ryan, with the power of the dong, he ended up YouPorn plexing Buck, lightsaber and all. As I said right then and there, it's a whole new generation. First there was Return of the Jedi. In this case, it was Return of the Package. Let that sink in, folks. Okay, up next, it was another championship matchup as longtime independent wrestling journeyman Monster Mac challenged Adam Payne for the Dark Arts Championship. Mac took the microphone and he gave Payne his kudos and saying that, you know, I forgot what he was saying, but then Mac eventually kicked Payne in the balls and the match got underway and Adam Payne eventually defeated Monster Mac to retain the Dark Arts Championship. Adam then takes the microphone and he says he's tired of being given challengers and decided to call someone out. And due to the fact that he spilled his blood when he en route to defeating DJ Hyde last month, the show must go on. And Payne issued a challenge for the to face the Bulldozer, Matt Tremont, on Saturday, March 16th. At that point, they did go to intermission. I know I did get a beer at intermission. Man, Coors Light tastes good. You know, I can't believe I forgot to mention this, but after the opening matchup, ring announcer Scotty Cerruti comes out with a trophy for Colossal Mike Law for the most outstanding performance. And when Scott let go of the trophy, Law tries to hold on to it, but it like is seemingly magnetized to the mat and he can't even lift it up. But then when Cerruti tried to pick it up, he got it up without a problem, so not really understand. And you know what the funny thing was? Well, I'll get to that later, actually. But back to the action, as what was originally going to be a six-man tag team match wound up a handicap 3-on-2 tag team matchup, as we see the Jersey Muscle Jock, Steve Gibkey, the Messiah of Old School, Sean Donovan, and the Mayor of Scumbag City, John Tella, come out, and Stephen J. Higgins declares them Higgins's heroes. And as Higgins is trying to introduce everybody, the lights in the building start flickering, and he's saying, "What's going on? I paid the electric bill." But then out come their scheduled opponents, the American Murder Society, Aaron Bradley and Steve Off. Off and Bradley were having their way with all three heroes, and then eventually they managed to corner Higgins outside on the floor. He rolls into the ring. Bradley got chop blocked by somebody in the knee, and I forgot who it was, but Gibkey, Donovan, and Tella defeated American Murder Society to win the match. And to my surprise, Donovan and Tella attacked Gibkey after it was over. So, already a void, seemingly, in Higgins' heroes. Or is it Higgins' heroes? Stephen J., please confirm it. Is it Higgins' heroes or Higgins' heroes? Up next, out comes Evan Myers, and he talks about what happened last month at the second annual Chad Adams Rumble, where he was handcuffed to the ropes after he brought the handcuffs into play. He said that Meadowlands Monster burned him when actually Myers was the one who threw fire at the Monster last month. And he said that Monster was choking him with a noose, but it turned out it was the other way around. So eventually the Meadowlands Monster comes out with his manager, Zach Amico. I do apologize if I got his name wrong. And he comes to the ring, and Myers heads for cover, shall we say. But then out comes Monster's scheduled opponent, Keep Calm Jason Carrion, not the Wayward Son. And the match was on, but then all of a sudden, John Tella comes out, distracting Monster, and then Evan Myers hits the ring, and I don't know, it was either Myers or Carrion hit Monster in the balls, and referee Nick Shin called for the bell, and even though there was no official announcement, whether Monster won on a disqualification or it was declared a no contest due to all the chaos, because eventually American Murder Society try to help the Monster. Colossal Mike Law hits the ring. Adam Payne comes out. And as Carry On, Tella, and Myers, Tella, and Law skedaddle out of the ring, Zach takes the microphone and he issues a challenge for an 8-man tag match and asks if Adam Payne didn't mind doing double duty that night. So I don't know, it will be... I mean, the match was made official before the night was over. I don't know if it's going to be Law, Tella, Myers, and Carry On, or Law, Myers, Tella, and Sean Donovan on that very particular team. But the other team is the Meadowlands Monster, Adam Payne, and the American Murder Society, Aaron Bradley and Steve Off. Next up was tag team action as the Psycho Drivers, Everett Cross and Smiley, defeated Notorious Inc., Drew Blood, and Devin Moore. Pretty good matchup on both of these teams. Then it was main event time, as the recently rechristened Buzzkiller, Pat Buck, and the Croatian sensation, Mario Bokara, challenged the Bayonne Badass Dan Moff for the heavyweight championship. A very good matchup by all three men. Moff eventually hits Buck with a burning hammer, and he kicked out at 1. But then Moff hit a second burning hammer, and Moff scored the pinfall and retained the championship. Moff asks for the microphone, which has become kind of a pro wrestling magic tradition after he wins a match. Moff takes the microphone, and he calls the Bad Apple Matt McIntosh to the ring, and Moff and Matt McIntosh makes light of the fact that Moff never defeated him one-on-one. At one point, McIntosh had his foot on Moff's championship belt, which was down on the mat. And Moff made light of that. And McIntosh was saying next month at Under Pressure, aptly named, that you're facing me one-on-one for this championship. And eventually, McIntosh leaves the ring and pretty much ending another great night of action. Well, it's time for the personal note to his great sing. Mike McNicholas, front row Mikey McIndro, Bruno, Elliot, Bill Parham, Jason Bob 87, Philip, Pete, Gail, I think Mike from the General Admission Wrestling Podcast was there, as was Ray Raimondo, too, right behind us. Who else I remember seeing in the crowd? Sherry Ann with her son Mikey. Hope he had a happy birthday. Yeah. Okay. As now, of course, nothing beats the Pro Wrestling Magic playlist, which is songs that are played before the show started at intermission. Now, I was very shocked they ended up playing Bye 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 by NSYNC during intermission. Or as I called them, N-Stink. I was not big on the boy band craze back in the late 90s, early 2000s, folks. All those, I was calling them a bunch of sissies back then. Even though one member of NSYNC did admit to being gay long after the band was broken, and Justin Timberlake's a lucky bastard married to the gorgeous Jessica Biel, who used to be on the TV show Seventh Heaven. But what the heck was 98 Degrees' Nick Lachey thinking being with Jessica Simpson, that dumb bitch? Of course, she was with Tony Romo, the former Dallas Cowboy quarterback, for a time, but I still stand by what I say. Jessica Simpson is a dumb bitch. But, well, and back to the playlist, folks. I gotta say, as much as I enjoy the songs that are played before the shows or during intermission, how about we add a little different stuff? How about we add some Lionel Richie, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind, and Fire, some Bee Gees, Phil Collins, Billy Joel, Elton John. Oh boy, there's so much more I could add. Stone Temple Pilots, the band known as Live, the band known as Sponge, the band known as what should I say? More stuff by that freak Marilyn Manson, Rob Zombie. How about some? I know he's not doing so fucking well, and that's Ozzy Osbourne. Come on, let's have some more variety to that playlist. Oh man. Well, here's the only memorable quote I picked up. Stop crying like a baby. You want a bottle? Gail to Colossal Mike Law after losing the opening matchup. Pro Wrestling Magic returns with Under Pressure. Not coming down on me, you, or anybody else. On Saturday night, March 16th, already announced Dan Moff defending the heavyweight championship against the Bad Apple Matt McIntosh. Adam Payne defending the Dark Arts championship against the Bulldozer Matt Tremont. Much to the chagrin of Stephen J. Higgins, the 8-man tag team match is official as Adam Payne joins forces with the Meadowlands Monster and the American Murder Society to do battle. Well, again, I don't know if it's Colossal Mike Law, Evan Myers, John Tella, and Jason Carrion, or if it's Colossal Mike Law, Evan Myers, John Tella, and the Messiah of Old School, Sean Donovan. Also returning to action on March 16th, Lucky 13. I would like to see, well, I'm not sure who I'd like to see the Psycho Drivers defend the tag team championship against. I'm sure, actually, the newly crowned women's champion, Ariella Nix, will, I'm sure, be in action because I did see her on the flyer that was on all the seats before the show started. Well, even though I don't have... Wait, hold that thought, folks. All right. Well, like I said, here is the flyer for the next Pro Wrestling Magic event right here. You can see pictured is the Meadowlands Monster, Dan Moff, Adam Payne, new women's champion Ariella Nix, and also with the mask on is the Bad Apple Matt McIntosh. But I'm wondering who is actually pictured right here in the background. I don't know if you could all can really see back there, but that person's eyes, I can't recognize who that person is. I don't know if that's a surprise of some sort or if that's someone who regularly competes on the show. I can't really recognize that person, folks. I mean, if you have the flyers or check out the picture on Facebook, you can look at it yourself to figure out who that could possibly be. I was hoping to get to the area a little sooner, but unfortunately, after having lunch, I fell asleep. And funny thing, en route, before I wound up taking the bus from the Port Authority, I actually picked up a selfie stick, which I did not get to use, and I still haven't opened this up to see how it works at all. But I sure hope as time goes on, I'll be able to use this at future shows, and heck, probably for my future recaps as well. Oh, I forgot to mention, it was great seeing Omar, who most of the fans were picking on throughout the damn night. Oh, and Dante's Pizza, they got some, on Main Street, they got some a great chicken parmesan hero. Yeah, I drooled like Homer Simpson, but most people drool over women rather than food. I'm wondering why Pro Wrestling Magic original Hoos Traplash was unable to make this show. He was going to team with T.J. Crawford in that opening triple threat tag team matchup. Okay. Now, we all know there is a Pro Wrestling Magic Facebook page out there which, alerts everybody about upcoming matches, upcoming show dates, upcoming show titles. But I don't know if the Magic Masses, again, that's my name for the Pro Wrestling Magic fans, if anybody would be interested if we had like our own Facebook page for the fans. You know, where us, the fans, we just speak about what's happening and what's going on. I mean, I don't know how everybody would feel about that. I mean, just let me know about that, everybody. I mean, sure, there is a Pro Wrestling Magic page to alert all the fans of everything, but how would everybody feel if we had, heck, I mean, I just named us the Magic Masses. So, come on, folks, let me know. Shane Fair, unfortunately, you had to miss this show, so hopefully you'll be back in the future. And I know, unfortunately, we've been wanting to do this Pro Wrestling Magic family portrait for so long. But unfortunately, because Shane Fair was not a crazy little thing called love, it had to wait. It's going to have to wait again because Mike McNicholas will not be at Under Pressure on Saturday, March 16th. So it'd be quite an occasion if we could pull this off April 20th at the anniversary show, if everybody's there. I sure hope so. I forgot to mention, it was great seeing Erica and her skunk Remy, or is it pronounced Remy? It seems like the skunk's really, getting as much attention on everybody, as much as the wrestlers and the fans and all. And Erica did partake for a very short time in my live video, and I don't know about doing live videos anymore at any events because it's just kind of. I do get stuck, and, that's what happens when I'm in a hurry to do them, because I don't want to be doing a live video, and then all of a sudden the show gets underway and all, folks. Yeah, Adam Payne took a little kid from the crowd during his match and pointed at the kid's feet right at Monster Mac during their matchup. See if there's anything else here. Yeah. Well, I think that's pretty much going to do it. Sure, can't wait to hear what everybody thinks of this one. And what a show Pro Wrestling Magic always seems to deliver, show after show.